Hello, it is Yaglol here. We're going to play a bit of D&D. We are going to play it in the real way, not when it's not like last time when we just showed you what we did. That's all good. It's nice, but at the same time, it's way better to do the real thing to show you all that we are actually playing D&D in the background. I could do something else for my segment, but I really want to see how this story goes. So allow me to call upon our very dear narrator. He's going to be our dungeon master because I miss his voice. Let us go start. Narrator, take the stage.
Hey, narrator, here again, everyone! So we have already rolled our initiatives. The people have already arrived in Ubina. So, as a DM, I have decided to allow you in on what is happening around the world. Because I want to be the type of DM that is working together with the players, right? I don't want to be your enemy. I don't want to be against you. So let's start by talking about how things are going for the party. They had an interesting beginning. After meeting up in that Forsaken room, they were able to deal with the sick man's sudden magical outburst. I want to create this story with you. So I have been rolling for things, and it seems that you all know of. So the village of Kalaoleso is ruled by, in this world, strangely enough, they call their leaders dukes. So, Edalian is the son of the duke of this place. His father wanted him to follow in his footsteps. So this Edalian, he is a close friend of Cherry's, and I rolled if he would know about Cherry's arrival and would want to meet her. By the harbor. But then it's a very, very low roll. So it may be that he was not aware that Cherry is actually coming home, or maybe he could be busy since being the son of the Duke. He is the next leader of the village, or let's say it's the titles in this world, they are called Duke. But anyway, so far no one has come out to greet them at the docks. Well, there might just be some sort of trouble brewing in the city. They follow the conventional titles like in medieval Europe. However, this Duke is basically more like a village chief, right? But they call it Duke. It is the title given to the leader. So yeah, Edalian will not be able to see you guys at port. That's it. Sick man Ophmian, it's now your turn. You've arrived in the island. Wait, do me a roll if you are actually conscious or not.
Hello everyone. Peeps here. This is my character, playing the role of the sick man. So I am supposed to be unconscious. Or maybe we should get too used in calling them by their real names. Ophmian. My name is Ophmian. Yes, that's right. I'm the sick man. You know what? I can't remember who told me that, but it was someone from somewhere else. And then they said something like you'll never get better unless you come out. Well, guess what? I think it was a foreign voice and not one of us at all, because it didn't sound like any accent I've ever heard before, but still I wasn't really sure, so I just went along with whatever they were saying. I will now roll if I awaken or something. I was actually, last time. Wasn't I healed by the bard by his healing song, right? Okay, I rolled a 13 to a DC of 13. What will happen, narrator?
Okay, so you are actually healed. Yes. I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but the truth is there's nothing wrong with your heart or lungs anymore. You're as healthy and strong as any other young fellow in his prime. You were correct that you were healed by the bard last time. His song was quite powerful. You were correct that you were healed by the bard last time. However, you are still recovering from your wounds and from your magical affliction, so you are currently okay but asleep. This says you don't have to worry anything about. This is because the crew of the ship will be the ones who will carry you down on the ship. The others are just, well, not important. You are well for now. Okay, next, Cherry. As you arrive in Ubina, you suddenly had a random thought about your family. You were wondering what they might be doing right now and if they were okay. While you have been exchanging letters with your mother and your other siblings, you have not heard from your dad in a while. This created a little nagging feeling at the back of your priorities, tucked somewhere in your head. But you wonder, you are thinking that as soon as you go home, hopefully, if you can go home, you would want to ask your family how your dad is. So, when this happens, so your dad is like, oi, He is not really that far. It's actually just at the other side of the island. He is at Cephate with your younger sister, who is currently an acolyte monk in the temple of Tagor. Your father is helping her prepare for her ordination ceremony. She has gone through many trials and tribulations over these last few years since becoming a priestess, but she will finally achieve her goal. So you have these nagging feelings within you that you want to know how your dad is doing. You are also aware that your other sister is training to be a guard. You do not think it's likely anyone would try something because you're pretty well known by everyone on this island. Since you frequently go to Idalian's place, you could check how your sister is doing. Since she is, like you, is the other responsible member of the family. Ricoleze, you are next since it's your turn. Once it's your turn, what do you want to do?
I approached Cherry Claddich and I asked her a question about her hometown. If there is an herbalist in town, I am just, trying to deal with a situation. Here, we have a sick man, probably affected by some magical thing. I just need to find a way to help him. I can't just leave him here.
Yes, we do have an herbalist in Nubina, but they are located in another village, a smaller village, at the smaller village of Sumi. Perhaps, however, it's quite far though. So if ever we wish to avail of the herbalist's services, we will need to travel there.
If that is what Cherry will say to me, I will say to her then that I think it is best if we take the sick man there. I am still quite shaken by the whole slavery of events. So it is best if we take them there. And if since it is along the way, going there, we could stop by the temple of Tagor. Pretty sure they know they should know something about this, I hope so. If that is if they're given a miracle from the deity herself, a blessing I mean. So what do you feel, Cherry? May I suggest we head to the temple and stop by the herbalist? I'm pretty sure the herbalist should have a repressant. It's one of those rare herbs that can repress this magical ability. Temporarily, at least this is my idea. At least if you have any other better ideas, then please do. I can help you look for transportation if you don't know who else can take us there.
Are you sure you don't want to take this chance to roll for something? You might influence a part of the story?
I think I do want to roll for something. I turn to the other people and I tell them that we are going to the herbalist in the temple. I would like to roll persuasion. I tell them it seems that fate has brought us together for a reason. Perhaps you would like to accompany us to a little short trip. We are headed to the herbalist and perhaps to the temple. You do not have to, just in case you have something else to do. But we could use some company. We have been pretty good as team. I would also like to roll if my personality will actually influence this role. I break a bit, and I look at the people, to each and every one of their eyes. I meet their eyes and I tell them that Cherry and I could use some help. To be honest, we might be the only mages here in Nubina. It all seems so overwhelming. We would like to. Maybe we do not want to ask much of you, but only your company and your support by accompanying us to where we are headed.
Alright, roll me a persuasion with advantage.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. I actually rolled a natural one, but then I remember that it is rolled with advantage. So my second roll is actually a 22, narrator.
The other people look at each other and they empathize. They feel your agony. They feel your genuine request. They are now a bit more inclined to help you. But we do not know what will happen. Let's see what will happen during their turns and if something comes up, but they are now a little bit more inclined to help you with this. That was wonderful. Next in line is the Dream Interpreter, is actually played by none other than Golden Spoon.
I say to her, yes, I would love to accompany you in this mission. All I ask is that if I have helped you this, you will also help us with our quest, with what we need. I don't think we have properly introduced each other, and know it's not the right time, but perhaps we could fully get to know each other later on. But I am Zavondra, a dream interpreter. I would very much like to meet the monks. So, right after we take the sick man to the herbalist, I would love to have a word with the monks of Tagor. That is why I'm here in Nubina. I would like to turn my attention to the others from the ship, and I tell them that fate Fate has brought us together. Fate has called upon us. It is leading us somewhere to a destination we have not seen yet. It is possible that if we embark on this journey, we are headed to an adventure. However, I would like to urge upon all of you to accompany us. Bad magic just entered Nubina, and who else can go against that other than the budding court mage of Nubina? She cannot possibly deal with this alone.
Viltberada the bard responded to what you said. I think I might be the only one here who can heal with my voice. I would like to accompany you. I don't have much going on. If not for this, I would just head to the tavern and hopefully look for some gigs. As for my role, I'd like to investigate. I would just like to look for a carriage. I'd like to ask around if there is some sort of transportation. I approach the crewmen who are currently putting the stickman on the ground on a stretcher. I ask them if they can give me a ride. They look at each other and then they look at me and they shake their heads. I basically ask around.
I would like you to roll me persuade. Wait, not persuasion. Forgive me, my bad. Roll me perception or investigation.
Let me roll for that. So, what is going on with these rolls in your roll 20? I rolled a critical failure. My result is a 3. A natural 3.
You couldn't concentrate for the sick man reminded you of your past. It made you angry for some reason. You know your past, right? It made you angry. It made you think of the time when everything was harsh and gloomy, and your whole world was filled with death. You take deep breaths. You contain your anger. You're fine, but you just feel angry. And this emotion has clouded your investigation. You end up spacing out, thinking about your past life. Oh, there we have it. Okay, so you return to the people and you tell them that you actually don't know how to get to carriage. I suppose you know something. Vilperado looks at Cherry, and the old man.
They've actually have recognized me, and are actually looking into the future hoping to gain my favor. I tell them, I suppose I can ask help from Medallion. He can supply us with a cart and some supplies.
All right, so we need to stop here. Our time is up. Thank you, Yaglol, for offering your segment to continue this. We'll leave it there for today.